Hey everybody, nice to see everybody today. We're here at this bonus session where we're going to cover your punch list, which is everything that you need right here. We're going to detail it in order to make more sales with social media. I'm going to break it down for you right here on this portion of our bonus session. Hey everybody, nice to see you. We are live streaming. We got a lot of people in the Zoom room, which hello to everybody who has come to the Zoom room. I love the Zoom room. Love to see you guys showing up early. I loved your responses. What are some of the things that you've learned from this workshop? I love to hear that you needed a sales script. I love that you hear that you need to know who your one true client is. I love to see these because that's really the takeaway from our work together is you got to be prepared. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy so you kind of know what you're doing over the next several months and what you're doing long term to actually keep these sales coming in. You have to have the strategy. You need to have the systems to support the strategy so you know what you're doing every day to make sure that strategy happens, I should say. And you need to focus on sales. We talk a lot about this. And before we dive in today, here we are. We are almost at November 1st, which is crazy, right? And there is still plenty of time to get in 3 invite-only events before the end of the year. If you get those 3 invite-only events set up, you execute them, you will be able to have sales now. Okay, imagine Christmas comes along, the holidays come along, and you have had these 3 invite-only events. You know that you have a system. You've already gotten clients here in 2024, and you can sit back and enjoy the holidays even more because you've put in the work to actually create a system that will bring you sales instead of, and we talk a lot about this because I just want people to hear this, and that is you cannot hope and pray and throw spaghetti at the wall and just think that these sales and that social media is suddenly going to work for you. You need a strategy. Everybody wants to be on social media. You have a lot of competitors. And if you want to do this the right way and you just want to just tell me the steps. And you don't want to have to go through those failures and through those struggles and to try to figure it out yourself, which will lead to burnout because it is complicated to run a profitable business. It is complicated, but there's a lot of people that can absolutely help you. And one of the ways that we're helping you here on this masterclass is we are offering an application to get on a sales surge strategy session call with me. I've mentioned this before. We don't offer this to everyone. You need to fill out an application for it. But if you are in the right place in your business and your life, that 50 minutes with me, complimentary with me personally, can help you get to the next level. Share with you your gaps. What are you missing? Who is your one true client? How are you currently targeting them? How can we create a high quality lead source from social media? And how are you going to convert those individuals? That's what we're talking about on this phone call. Fill out an application. Again, if you are not, if it's not a good use, okay, if like us getting on a phone call is not a good use, we will make sure that you have those next steps. The only reason why we host this workshop, okay, is to help people. We're speaking the truth here. It's not sexy. Me telling you that business is hard, it's not the funnest news that I have. Me telling you that you probably have to show up as a different person to run a different kind of business is not the best. So that's not the best news. But the good news is that the strategies and the system that we share with you in this workshop, it can work for everyone. If you just get out of your own way, you will no longer have to be searching and hoping and praying for leads. You can add a high quality lead source to your service-based business if you follow the strategies we've laid out in this workshop together. Now, many of you have already filled out an application. Like Shauna mentioned, if you haven't heard back from us, we got a lot of applications in. If you haven't heard back from us, make sure you just reach out again. We don't want to forget everybody, but we're live everywhere. We're live on Instagram and on Facebook and on LinkedIn. We are everywhere. And so really fill out that application. Once spots with me are gone, they are gone. I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of speaking. So really reach out. You don't want to be building this business on your own. If you have a team, but no one on your team is particularly strategic, that they don't have this long-term vision, that they're not going to tell you yes and no, but they're just kind of there for the vision. Trust me, you want to get on this call with me. I can help you. So fill out that application, and I look forward to talking to you on this call. Applications close tonight, as my team mentioned. Now, before we go into the punch list, I want you to look at your business, and I want you to know, and I want you to evaluate this. Okay, I got another graph for you. And you basically have you get one of 4 ways that you're actually going to be running this business. And so many of you have probably seen this. This isn't my graph, but it is the truth. So I am here to share it with you. So you can pick one of these quadrants. Now, a lot of people are in this quadrant, which is employee. I'm sorry, not a lot of people, but many people are not in this situation, which is employee. That's you go to work for somebody, you get paid. We all know what an employee is. It's really hard to make money and scale and create a legacy business as an employee because you're stuck trading dollars for hours. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you guys on social. So employee, that's not really how you're going to be able to scale and make life-changing money. Next is self-employed. Now, many people think that they're running a business and they fancy themselves a business owner when in all reality, they are actually self-employed, which means you own a job. You're doing all of this. You're still trading dollars for hours. You are always constantly hustling. You haven't scaled your time. You haven't developed any systems and to be able to automate things. You're always coming up with what the thing is. You're always kind of fighting fires. And if you see this self in your business, okay, if your business and you see yourself as an employee of that business, you really want to break out of that because it's over on the other side of this chart where there's real magic to be said, okay? And this is a business owner. Now, you are not a business owner without the systems and the people that are actually making you money. And so that's what we teach in this workshop and why systems are just such an integral part of everything that we're teaching. And systems are what do I do every day, regardless of how I feel. Every day, every week, every month, regardless of how I feel. And it's and allowing other people on your team to do those things for you so you can actually scale your skills. Being a business owner is really where you're going to be able to build this legacy business and have more time, more money, and more freedom and more impact. And then finally, investor, which we're not going to talk about now, but after you are a business owner, then you will actually have the resources and the knowledge and the ability to actually be an investor and create real long-standing wealth for yourself. So look at this and know the difference between self-employed and business owner is you need a team and you need a system, and that's what's holding you back. And if you really want to build that out, I can't leave this workshop today without going over the 3 S's one final time because I can't underline it enough how important these 3 things are. So we're going to outline it again. Yes, you need a strategy for how to grow on social media and how to convert these individuals off of social media. Now, this is very nuanced. You're not going to be able to, it's going to take you 10 years to figure this out yourself, especially if you don't have the kind of experience that Shauna, Emily, and I have together. Okay. You to figure out a social media thing, it's going to take you forever. You're going to have to do 100 reps, where if you get on a phone call with me, and work with us and work with a professional, okay, you're going to be able to only do like half that or a quarter of that. You're really saving so much time and pain. But the strategy, okay, find a strategy and stick with it. Enough with shiny object syndrome. I know how good it feels to have a new idea and a new strategy before it got hard, but you have to force yourself out of that way of thinking, okay? You also, and I'm going to double underline this, you have to stop listening to 5 people. Don't listen to my TikToks and somebody else's TikToks and this other person's TikToks, because then you will get to your desk and you will be like, I don't even know what to implement or how any of these fit together. So you got to dedicate yourself to following one and only one strategy. And I'd really recommend only listening to one person while you're implementing it. In fact, when people come and coach with us, and they're already getting coaching from ever many people, like, this can be a real deal breaker for us, because I need you to be focused on what we're doing so you can perfect it and actually get results, instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping and praying that hopefully one day something will work. Okay. And then as far as strategy goes, you have to be okay with this not going great the first couple of times. Okay, we tell our kids the same thing. You have to practice. If I want to play a piano song, the first time I play it, it sucks. Okay, but then I do it 10 or 15 times and it gets better. The same goes for your social media strategy and those invite-only events. Is system. This is consistency and iterating on results. If you don't have this built into your business, you will always be in chaos mode. You will never be a business owner. You will always be self-employed. So stop drilling for oil in 100 places. Become way less emotionally involved in your business. Stop making gut reaction decisions. Stop letting your day drive you. And instead, you show up and you let your day know what the system is. Because what you do today is what your business will look like 3, 6, 9, 12 months out. Just like working out, you don't expect to work out and have muscles the next day. It's what I do today is what I look like and feel like 3, 6, 9 months from now. So you got to get out of the short-term thinking, this emotion of business, and instead create a system, and like a robot, you execute, because it is more important to you as a business owner to execute on your system and to keep the word to yourself. And fighting the resistance of being human and not wanting to do hard things. If you get on the other side of that, you can have a really great lead source and you can generate more sales than you ever imagined, because social media is endless. It's endless for who you can meet. And then finally, sales. If your ego is in the way and you just want a big following and you don't want people to reject you and you're just kind of showing up willy-nilly, you're not going to get sales. You have to work backwards from a sale. Sales is what drives your business. It is already difficult enough to create a business and a lead source and have consistent leads and sales coming in. If you're not focused on it, then it's that much harder. And so check your ego at the door on all things and know that sales is the most important thing, and you need to work backwards from sales. And the beautiful part is, guys, this is available to absolutely everyone. Everyone, if you are willing to put in the work, it will work. But if you're looking for an easy way in business, if you're looking for an easier way to get leads, take it from me, somebody who has been in digital marketing for 20 years. There is no easier way to get leads. Social media is endless. You can develop a system. I've asked for you. It's available to you, whether you're an agent, whether you're a real estate agent or an insurance agent or an expert or a coach, or you want more speaking gigs. If you want to scale and meet high ticket clients on social media, I've outlined the system for you. It doesn't get easier than that. You don't have to do ads. You don't have to do a lot of tech stuff and get lost in the tech. It's simple. How do I meet and get in front of more of the right people and convert them into clients? Well, I've outlined this for you in this workshop. Make sure you pick up those replays or fill out an application to get on a call with me. So we're going to go over the punch list. This is everything that you need to know, because a lot of people get real tunnel vision on this. They think if I just figure out the marketing part of my business, then everything will be great. And then if I just figure out my operations part of my business, then everything will be great. Okay. If I just figure out the sales part of my business, then everything will be great. Do you see? I just outlined 3 things that you have got to have nailed down before this business is actually where you want it to be, giving you more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. And so it's multifaceted. So you basically have to go get an MBA to make this business work and to understand every single part of business, because it's like this big machine and everything is moving, which is why I have to double, triple underline that you can't do it alone. You need mentorship, you need help, you need a strategy, you need a system, and you need to look backwards from the sales. And I'm going to outline what you need to know. This is what we cover in all of our programs, and you need to know this going in to the holidays so that you can get these sales and set yourself up for a really amazing 2025. So the first thing that you need to know, of course, is what you're selling. What is the name of your program? What are the details? What is the program price? What is the main problem that you solve in your program? And if you're sitting there thinking, I have 25 programs, or I'm not really sure, and then that's why you're not getting any sales. You have to be clear, and you have one program and one person that you are focused on this thing. That's how you're going to make sales. Okay? Is that you are clear on this. If you are not clear, if I can't ask you this question of the name of your program, what's included, and what's the problem it solves, then you have some work to do, and you need to get on that call with me. Now, next, one true client. Now that you know what you're selling, you've got to know who is your one true client. We talked about this on day 2. This is not beginner information. This is something I use every single day in my business. We are consistently and continually talking about our one true client. Who is it now? Have we up-leveled? What would this person think of what we're saying? The whole point of one true client is that you live in a world that you're the center of it. You're the center of your world, right? Everybody's coming at you. You're acting as the center of your world. It's how we were programmed as human beings. And so when you're marketing and when you're doing video and when you're selling, you're always kind of viewing it from that perspective, because we're human. We're only seeing from our perspective. But when you have a one true client and you can take your perspective out of yourself and plop it into a one true client and see stuff that you're doing in your business and online and social media from their perspective, clarity, effectiveness. This works so much better because you will always view stuff from your perspective, and you'll miss the mark every time. So make sure you have a one true client, who they are. Okay. We had 3 things that we solve with the one true client method. And again, you take somebody in your experience, has to be in your experience. Put their name on a Post-it note, and every time you go do marketing, you ask yourself, what would Barbara think of this? And when you do that, it takes care of your niching. Those are the demographics of somebody, okay? Your positioning. Where do I fall in relation to others and to my competitors? If you don't have a clear idea on that, you're missing the boat. And my messaging. Fishing for clients is exactly like fishing for fish. The messaging, the words you're actually using is what's going to attract them. And it's little, it's like nuanced. It's like changing a word here, changing a word there, right? I have a customer and she helps individuals who are in chronic pain. But she found when she used the word chronic, then people who were like in like really like a lot of pain, like all day long. And these were not necessarily the people she wanted to help. She wanted to help people who wanted to live an active lifestyle, but their pain was stopping them. But they were not resonating with the word chronic. They were resonating with the word, I can't remember what the word was off the top of my head, like pesky or annoying pain. So it's like a one word thing. And when you have a one true client, then it solves it. Because you're like, what would Barbara say? How would Barbara say this? All right. Next, we're going to talk about lead source. So now you have your program. Now you have that. Now you need a high quality lead source. Where are you going to find cookie cutter versions of your one true client? You got to pick your main platform for lead generation. Okay. You have to look at your audience ecosystem. You have to you have to create 30 days of content out here because you have to batch this. You posting content every day is not viable. It's not a good way to run things. And so pick your social media platform, and then you got a couple things to do under that. I was going to add some color here, but I don't think I will. Then we got 3 things under that lead source. And if you follow this, you'll never lack for getting in front of more of the right people again. So your social media lead source, you got to do black booking. Who is in your current sphere of influence? Who do you currently know? Can you touch base with them on social media? Can you show them some support? Can you DM them? Can you have some conversations and feed these relationships of people that are already in your sphere? These are sales leads. These are collaboration partners. People in your sphere of influence. Use social media to nurture those relationships. Next, virtual networking. This is expanding your sphere of influence. If you were to go to a networking meeting, who would you want to be there? Guess what? You can go meet those exact same people on social media. Go friend request them. Start a conversation. And then content. The content is just the frosting. It is not what's going to bring a bunch of people to you. It's not what's going to be the linchpin and suddenly you're going to be able to go viral and all these people are going to find you. That's not going to happen. Instead, your black booking, your virtual networking, and then the content is feeding those 2 pieces. And then finally, now that you have a lead, now you have clarity on your program, clarity on your one true client, clarity on what your lead source is and how you're managing to find people, then we get to sales. And here's what you have to know about sales, okay, is people, you get followers on social media, they're not just going to throw their money at you. You have to have a strategy for getting them out of the marketing washing machine. The marketing washing machine is those networking events you go to, the speaking events that you go and speak at, the podcasts that you're on. They're all out there in the marketing washing machine, and all they want is for you to tell them what the next step is. And so we want to do that. And the very best way to do that is through an IO event that you give on, rinse, and repeat, because you never know when your buyers are ready to take that next step. So you, as the business owner, every other week, you're giving an IO event and you're inviting all the new people that you met on social or anywhere else you've been to the IO event so that they can understand what you offer and get the right people onto the next call. Okay. Or onto the next step, I should say. And then finally, sales calls. We talked about that yesterday. Please do not be making your sales calls based on rapport. Please do not be showing up unprepared to these sales calls, because all you'll be doing is thinking of, what question do I need to ask this person next, instead of doing what you need to be doing on a sales call, which is listening to your prospect so you can understand their perspective. This whole game is about you not being obsessed with your own perspective, but being able to get into the perspective of your one true client. And the more you can do that and embody them and understand them, the easier it'll be to make sales. Because then you won't be speaking to your own problems or what you think or how you're feeling about things. You'll actually be talking to someone real with real problems. So, hey, that, my friends, right here, you get this set up. By the time we hit Christmas, you'll be on your way to a 2025 with a system, with understanding that you're actually be able to grow revenue and grow your business and no longer be searching and hoping and praying for sales. And it happens now. Because you can have 3 IO events on the books, definitely between here and Christmas. Everybody here knows 20 people that they can invite to that first IO event. It'll be everything, you may not want to do it. You may want to put it off till after the election. You might want to put it off till after the new year. And I would argue that and say, if you're just going to be putting it off till after the election and after the new year, then you're going to put it off again, and you're going to put it off in February, and you're going to put it off again, and you're going to come to my workshop again and watch it again, and nothing will change again. Know this about being a business owner and being just a human being, is that everything is just a pattern. Like, we're just programmed to do stuff. From when we were little, we got a whole bunch of computer programs put in our mind, and we spend most of our days walking through life as a computer program. We'll probably only think about 10% of our day. Everything else, we're just letting the computer program manage it. And so that means everything is a pattern. Okay. You're going through patterns in your business, whether that be, I always sign up for programs and they never work. I always try a lead generation situation and it never works. I always do this and it never works. I am always blah, 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 and it never works. That's because you're in an endless cycle of repeating. And the key to growing a business, if you want to do it as fast as possible and you want my personal hack, it is to notice these patterns and to break them. Like, no longer do the same thing. Notice when you're in a pattern and go a different direction. And that's why we have a system for you. Because, you don't want to go out and give an IO event, whatever. You're scared, whatever. You haven't done it before. You do it anyway, and you fight the resistance. Now, one thing that can help about breaking these patterns to get to where you're going, because otherwise you'll just be on this hamster wheel doing the same thing over and over. So, break the pattern is to get on a call with me. I've shown you in this workshop. You've joined me. You know me. We're truth tellers here. I'm not for everybody, admittedly. Okay, admittedly not for everybody, but for those individuals that just kind of want, tell me like it is, so I can just improve. Like, my ego will take a back seat. Just give me the answers. And I am okay with being a little bit triggered by you, Lindsey, for lack of a better term. Okay. Those are the kind of people that we see huge success with. Those are the kind of people that are coachable. Those are the kind of people that can get out of their own way. And if you want a phone call like that with somebody who is just going to tell you like it is about where you're at in your business, I highly recommend that you fill out that application. Emily, thank you for dropping that. Fill out that application. They close tonight. Trust me, it'll be the most truth-telling conversation that you have on a phone call with any business consultant, because I'm not there for any other reason than to shed light on what it's going to take for you to actually get to where you're going. So I'm going to find out a couple of things on this call. Again, go and apply. I look forward to talking with you. We're going to talk about where you've been, who your one true client is, where you've been, what you've tried, what hasn't worked. We're going to talk about your programs now, where your lead source is now, and how you can generate leads now. And we're going to talk about what you're trying to build. And if you don't have clarity on those three things, I will help you find clarity on this phone call. But quite frankly, if you don't have clarity on that, then you're like flying, you're trying to fly from New York to California without a map. You're just hoping and praying that if I kind of point my plane towards where the sun is, maybe I'll get there. And it won't work. It's too hard to grow a business to guess. It's too hard to not find clarity. And that's exactly what this phone call will get you. Again, applications are open. We don't offer it to anyone. Fill out the application. We will let you know the next best step either way. So thank you so much for joining me today on this bonus session. Love seeing everyone in the Zoom room. Love seeing everybody on social media. Again, fill out that application. We're going to go live one more time. We had several questions that have come in. We will be answering those live today at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And I look forward, and that's going to be on social. So I look forward to seeing you then. Fill out those applications. And thank you so much for joining me for this workshop. I appreciate everybody here. So fill out that application and I'll see you on that call. Emily, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's special bonus.